When you think of an angel, what's the first image that pops into your head? For a lot of us, it's probably one single familiar picture. But what if I told you that the original texts paint a much, much bigger picture? Today, we're going to dive into the many different names for angels, and you'll see how each one unlocks a new secret about their true purpose and power. So, let's start with the big question. Do angels really have just one name? Well, the short answer is a definite no. And as we're about to find out, these aren't just simple labels or nicknames. Each name is actually a powerful description of an angel's job, its power, and its very essence. All right, so we'll start with the first major category of names. Think of these as the action-oriented titles. They're all about what angels do. These are the names that describe their service, their duties, and their responsibilities. So let's explore the roles they actually play. First one up, ministers. This one gets right to the heart of it, doesn't it? It describes their role in carrying out spiritual service. You can almost think of them as divine agents, tasked with very specific heavenly duties. It's a name that's completely rooted in action and purpose. Okay, but now this next name adds a whole different layer. Armies. Whoa. This highlights a really powerful, almost combative side of their service. It presents them not just as gentle messengers, but as a mighty celestial force, ready for spiritual warfare or protection. It's a pretty striking contrast to the idea of a minister, right? And rounding out this first group, we have the name Watchers. Now, this is fascinating because it implies a kind of managerial role. This term actually shows up in texts like the Book of Daniel. It suggests they aren't just doing the tasks, they're supervising and overseeing them. So when you put it all together, these three names give us this incredibly dynamic picture of active service.
Okay, so let's move on and see how this all builds. We've seen what angels do, so now let's take a look at what they are. The second group of names shifts the focus away from their actions and onto their inherent qualities, their very nature and their power.
Now this one is really interesting, chariots. Of course, this isn't literal. It's a powerful metaphor, and it's all about their incredible speed and agility. It's meant to create this image of an unstoppable divine force, something that can cross huge distances in an instant to carry out a command. Next, we have two names that are very closely related, Sons of the Divine and Sons of God. Both of them are pointing to the same core idea, that their power comes directly from their divine origin. This name really highlights their unique relationship with God, which grants them a strength that is both holy and just. Formidable. And this next one brilliantly illustrates their unique status. The name Holy Ones means that they are literally set apart. They are beings who have been consecrated for a divine purpose, completely distinct from the rest of creation. It really emphasizes their purity and their total dedication to God's will. I gotta say, I love this final name, Stars. It's so poetic, but it's also a really powerful descriptor with two meanings. On one hand, it speaks to their vast, uncountless number, like a massive celestial host. But on the other hand, it points to their very essence as beings of light, just radiant, brilliant, and shining. So we've looked at names that describe what they do and names that describe what they are. So what does this all mean when you put it together? Let's take a second to summarize the big takeaway from all these different titles. So here they are, all in one place. You've got the names of service, ministers, armies, and watchers. And then you have the names of nature, chariots for their speed, sons of the divine for their power, holy ones for their sacred purpose, and stars for their sheer number and brilliance. It really is an incredible spectrum of identity. And ultimately, this is the key. These are not just interchangeable labels. Each and every name is like a window, offering us a brand new glimpse into a different facet of what angels are and what they do. We go from a simple one-note concept to a reality that's so much more complex and, well, majestic. And all of that leaves us with one final thought to chew on. Knowing that these names describe such a multifaceted identity, a being that is a servant, a soldier, a supervisor, and a star all at once, how can this change our own understanding of angels? It's definitely something worth thinking about. Thanks for joining me for this one.